You're listening to the Bathtub Refinishing Podcast. Powered by BathTubGuys Refinishing. We discuss the refinishing industry, interview owners and operators, and give tips to business owners and entrepreneurs. Now, here's your host, Daniel Montalvo.
All right, we're back with Jonathan and Carlos from 8 Kings Renovation.
Yo.
Yeah, so we're talking off air. We're just talking about some stuff, and we're gonna just kind of continue the conversation because it was a good one. But we were basically talking about like the importance of having like a good group around you. Some of these refinishers and just people in business in general.
Yeah.
They everybody has the ebbs and flows with lead acquisition and building their companies and the stresses of like making money, losing money, and you're caught in that like roller coaster kind of a thing, right? So, a lot of the reason why I started this entire podcast, and I've talked to him about it, but it's mostly to help people, bro. Because this platform isn't for the fucking guy who's looking to get his tub done. You know what I mean?
No, exactly.
And I try to make that clear with the intro. You hear how I'm not talking about this is for customers. This is for entrepreneurs and business people to like have an outlet. And obviously the tub refinishing is the angle. That's unique to this, but
it's our niche.
Exactly. It's what we do. But it is really important. One of the biggest things for me when I started and why I did it is exactly what you guys were talking about, is that there's too many people that needed the fucking help, and I didn't have it when I was coming up and trying to do this shit, and I was stressed as fuck, and I didn't have the people to talk to.
Yeah.
So my idea was like, let me try to create my own little network of people that I could bounce ideas off, talk about people who have gone through the same shit or are going through the same shit as me, and then have have something, a tool for them to use, right? Beyond just like making money and stuff, but having a solid group of guys who are like-minded, who understand the context of your situation, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just want to talk some more about that. I know you were starting a point there, but towards the end, do you remember where you were at mentally right there?
No, because we were kind of talking about like 9 things at the same time.
Yeah,
but
tends to be how it is. But I mean, it's just one of those things. Like I know that like everybody has those times where they're like, hey man, like shit's kind of going south.
Yep.
And like we were talking about off air, sometimes it's not your wife who needs to hear about that shit.
Oh yeah.
It's not other people in your family.
Those stresses, they need to stay outside of your freaking house and take it from a person that didn't know how to do that. That only worsens the situation. So like my wife, we've been married 10 years. We've been married 10 years. We've been together like 50, it feels like. You know what I mean? So it's like we've gone through it
pretty much a third of your life, bro.
Bro, like, I will never leave her, and she will never leave me. Like, we have this understanding where we freaking love each other. There's no reason. We have beautiful kids together. And it's like, but then there's things that we also learned through trial and error, because everything, including marriage, is a trial and error.
Yeah, you're not in the cupcake stage anymore.
Oh, my God. Yeah, no, that puppy love stage that long
over.
time ago. You know what I mean? Now but we have this bond that she's my best friend. I'm her best friend. But even with that, there's things she doesn't talk to me about, and there's things I don't talk to her about for good reason. There's things she doesn't need to bring stuff to me because we're different. We're different people, and there's things that she could outsource that, amongst her friends or her family, and then vice versa with me. Like, I don't talk to her about the stresses of business, and the reason why is because it does put them on edge, especially the economic aspect of it. You don't need to tell them that. Maybe a little bit, because they one, always sense it, and two, naturally, women are nurturers. They're going to want to take care of us, and they're going to want to be there for us. But that's where, like, I kind of put my strong man pants on, and I'm like, no, don't worry about it. Now I just, like, I'll call Danny, or I'll call, another best friend of mine that owns a business, and we'll talk it out. And vice versa. Like, he'll call me like, bro, you're not going to believe what a freaking client did today.
Yeah, and we do it all the time, about
every week.
All the time.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna talk at least twice a week.
Yeah.
Minimum.
And we bounce ideas off of each other and stuff like that. It's just valuable to have someone like that.
Yes. And then for the listeners, I know we have guys listening that I've actually invited onto the podcast. Get onto the podcast, man. Come join the community. We're a niche service, and we know, specifically, we know what you all are dealing with, trying to get this work and trying to create a living for yourself and provide for your families. there's a place here where you can talk about it, ask questions openly, down to the nitty gritty, how to get work, how to do the work, you know, tips, tricks, and you can call us, text us, even after hours, bro. We're always available. Call Danny, call me, text us, whatever, man.
Bro, there's a reason why we've had people from Canada come here, people from Georgia drive here, people from Texas drive
California.
here, California flying here.
Oh, yeah.
You know, someone as big and high profile as in this industry as Danny from Alliance Reglazing, he doesn't need to come here.
Yeah.
This man's making,
He's self-made.
He's making what some companies make in a fucking year, a month, and he just like even he saw the value in coming here.
Exactly. Yeah. Why? Like-minded individuals.
Yeah, and also, bro, on the other side of the coin, bro, you might be in another realm. You might be above where we're all at. But guess what, bro? It's lonelier at the top, bro.
Yeah. Yep.
And I don't think anybody knows him more than him. He told us off screen about how he lost relationships and people close to him, like, because, you know, they saw something different. Oh, you got your money up, so now whatever.
Bro,
and they get jealous.
It's a sad thing, but it does happen. And, you know, this is the sadder thing, and at least in my experience, that even happens, and you don't even have to get big.
No.
You can just do a little better than someone else.
Bro, you start
driving.
you drive a new car around the right person in your family, and they're like,
they'll feel some type of way. And you've seen it firsthand. In my 7 years of business, I've lost people that I loved, but it needed to happen because if not, they were holding me back. I was bringing in vibes that, bro, I'm an energy type of fucking person, and like the wrong energy's gonna fuck shit up. Like, don't bring around shitty energy. And that's another one that me and him, why I started doing better life decision skills. Like, not necessarily I was doing bad ones, but it's just I needed the reminder, and that was coming from him, about like, dude, like, try it like this. And I would have been in the same, and that's what Jonathan was saying, guys. Back to what Jonathan was saying, reach out. You need it. As a person that didn't reach out and would bottle everything in, I was just making my life shittier.
I remember those conversations.
My life shittier.
I remember you calling me and like, hey man, like, this is the situation, and my wife's pregnant, and I don't know what the fuck to do. And I was like, bro, first of all,
this is what you need to do.
Take a step back. You know, like at the end of the day, and I told you this. Obviously, nobody wants it, but like, you could always have a job.
Yeah.
Right? Take a step back. Think about it. If a fucking nuke hit tomorrow, do you think you'd give a fuck about tubs or bathtub guys? No, bro. So like, let's think about these things rationally. Slow down.
And that's the thing. Slow down.
Yeah. Because
my mind goes like a million miles a minute, and sometimes I stress myself out on things that don't even need to be stressed out.
Yeah. When people are in these dire situations, everybody's problems always feel bigger in their own head. So when you talk to somebody who's been there, it
leaves.
Yes, because look, what's the first thing when things went bad? You started to kind of become conscious about some of these things you were doing subconsciously. You're like, damn, like this happened and this happened and this is where I'm at and this is not where I want to be at. What's the first thing that happens? I need to get a website. I need to start turning on ads. And you overwhelm yourself because you think you need to do it all at once.
One day at a time.
And it's one day at a time.
Because
tomorrow is not going to fucking, it's like the world's not going to fall apart tomorrow, bro.
Yeah. And you're not going to be a millionaire overnight. That happens with strategic planning.
Exactly.
Like,
in time.
And that's what it's all about.
And I always remember, I would always tell you, bro, when you started, what did you do? And you were like, well, I did this, and I was grinding. And I was like, bro, you got to go back to
basics. Back to basics. Yep.
That's what everybody does. Yep. You know, this is a one example, but like during COVID, what did you see around all these fast food places? They started taking all the extra shit out of their fucking menus and just going back to burgers and fries and shit like that. Yeah. McDonald's doesn't sell salads anymore. Yeah. They don't give a fuck. Like, people are they're coming here for burgers. That's what we're going to fucking sell. They're going back to basics because they were losing money on that shit. And they just have to take a step back. Now, as a refinisher, as a business person, you just be like, okay, well, when I was riding high and I had all these leads and I had these people working for me, what was I doing? Well, I was doing this, and this, and I'm not doing it now because situations have changed. Well, take a step back. I start here, and I just got to rebuild.
Reorganize, replan. Like, what worked? What didn't? Okay, take that out.
And adding to that, something that a lot of guys don't do because of pride and shit like that is reach out to other guys who have been there, done that, and get a different angle. You know? everybody can see things and think it's black and white, and when it's you, everyone's their worst critic, right?
Yep.
So you think, oh man, maybe I just suck, maybe I'm just a piece of shit, maybe I just don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Maybe I just need to go back to 9 to 5.
Yeah.
You know, like
And then sometimes you just need that person to tell you, nah, bro, do this, this, and this, just like you did before, and then it makes you feel better, and feeling better makes you perform better, bro.
Opening up has definitely been probably the best thing that I've done, because it's allowed for ideas that I couldn't think of on my own, that someone else helped. Like maybe it wasn't a full idea, but it was something that I thought of, and someone's like, well, hey, if you do this with that, you'll get this. And it's like, damn, I never thought about that before. It's like, I had an idea, you repolished the idea, and now it's a better idea. So it's like, it's good to open up. Also, it's good to open up to the right people.
Yes.
Yeah.
You can't open up to anybody, man. Some people don't want to see you succeed.
Specifically, and I'm going to tell you this as someone who has been through the ebbs and flows, you cannot get too personal with people who work for you, bro.
Yeah.
Because vulnerabilities are sniffed out.
Yeah.
And whatever, like, whatever anxiety or whatever the fuck you have, if you want to keep someone around, bro, don't even let. You are the enforcer. You're the boss. You're the one that they answer to. Once they start thinking that they can call the shots, they'll try it.
Or once they start thinking like, okay, he's not my boss anymore. He's just someone that I can just like, no, it's like, no. That relationship needs to be maintained exactly as is.
Exactly.
I've learned that the same exact way, because like I said, I like residential because I like the up close and personal. I like it. That when you do that with an employee, it just almost never, it'll work maybe once, but out of the 10 times, 9 times, someone's going to find a way to disrespect you or not listening to you.
How big of a reader are you?
I'm a pretty good reader. I'm a big reader. Why?
Have you read the book, The 48 Laws of Power?
Not yet. I've been told so many people for so long to freaking read it, but I have been told several ones. And yeah, they're
read it
good.
or audiobook it, bro. One of the two.
It.
But what it does is that it shows you how people subconsciously
work
or consciously manipulate.
Yep.
Specifically manipulation. So I always give this example. Like, I've had guys who were like, yeah, I hire them. They're fucking model employees for a month. And then suddenly it's like, well, my baby mama, my kids, and I got to go pick them up. So I'm going to leave and blah, blah, blah. And they use these things, sometimes even subconsciously,
as a crutch.
A crutch to not do things.
Yep.
One of the reasons I switched my regular guys from being paid like per day to hourly was because I was looking and I had a lot of these excuse-y type of people getting paid as much as some of my guys who were busting their fucking ass because of the system.
Yep.
It was like, well, they get paid per day. Well, what?
Everyone's gonna,
and then some guys are being there till 8 o'clock. So what the fuck are we gonna do about that? And I switched it back. And you know what? One of those guys, who was one of my best guys, left because of that. That was part of the reason. There was other factors, but that was part of the reason.
Yeah.
He one of the things he told me was that we weren't paying him enough, and I was like, well, in my head, I didn't say this to him, but we know. Well, he was going to go pick up his kids. He wasn't working that time. He was getting paid for that time.
Yeah.
Exactly. He always had an excuse not to do something. And the people who weren't upset about it were the ones who are always busting their ass and doing the right thing. Because now, not only are they getting paid per day, but if they go over, they're getting paid additional.
Yeah.
And it's helping them.
Yeah.
And long term, these are things where you start opening your eyes as a business owner as to why things are done a certain way. Everybody thinks that they want a super nice guy boss forever. Now, you've been a boss, so you understand when I'm nice to you and how I am, it's because I respect you, because I see you as an equal.
It took time for that to happen, and that takes time, and that takes, because it's a mutual thing. You have to prove yourself.
Yeah,
you have to prove yourself, and that's you can't just go somewhere and demand respect.
Exactly,
and a lot of dudes think they can do that.
Yeah, but it's important for a lot of people they'll hate me for saying this, but in business, you need to establish that you are not an equal to your worker.
Yeah.
Because once they see you as an equal, once they see you as one of the boys,
the excuses start coming.
The excuses and the balls.
Yeah.
To be like, yo, but you made $500 on that job. Why am I only getting $100? I did all the work.
I built the business.
Doesn't matter, because once they see you as a boy, they feel like they feel like they're Steve Jobs, bro. They feel like they're the one that's fucking doing this shit.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they know they really know, and you know that if shit hit the fan, like they're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
But you start getting them too comfortable, and they start feeling a certain way.
Yeah.
Like they get too comfortable. Like you wouldn't like. I always use this example, right? But like the CEO of Walmart is not talking to the people that work at the fucking Osceola Parkway location right there. You know what I'm saying? And there's a reason for that, because they'll round up all the people and be like, yeah, the store did $1 million in sales this year. And then they're like, well, we get paid $12. They hire a manager that's making $13 to hear all those concerns.
Yeah.
It doesn't get to the fucking super top, the guy on the top.
Yep.
And the reason it doesn't is because, like, if you get too close to the person at the top, they feel like they can start having leverage over you, whether it's subconsciously or consciously. Yeah. And I'm not saying that, you shouldn't negotiate, higher pay, blah, 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 all that stuff. But there is a reason that hierarchies exist. And a lot of people think, oh, well, that sticker says 500. So if he's paying me 100, 400 is going in his pocket. And they're not thinking about the fucking truck, the insurance, the shop, the material, the gas, the tools, the fucking paying them.
Yeah.
And
the chance of them fucking up and having to go back also.
Yeah, also.
It's like, that's my material.
Or when you're not here in a fucking year because you whatever.
You did a shitty job and you decided to quit.
And now I got to pay somebody else to fix your shit for free.
And you wanted me to still pay you like half pay. It's like, no, that's not how it works, bud.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Is like, that's why there needs to be that separation. Oh. And one of the big things for me was that book. So the 48 Laws of Power.
Gonna read
really,
that.
Like opened my eyes to especially subconscious manipulation, because I am not a pessimist. I believe that most people are good intentioned, but I also believe that the majority of people are kind of dumb.
and subconsciously they lead themselves to do things that they don't even mean to sometimes.
Yeah,
just kind of it's in people's personality.
Yeah, so you got to catch it. Like I had a guy who came in here and interviewed for a job, and one of the first things he tells me is like, yeah, bro, I really need the money, blah blah blah. And like I'm in a bad situation. I have a daughter, blah blah blah. And all I'm hearing is the next set of excuses, bro. Yeah. That's all I'm hearing. Is like, oh, but my daughter got soccer practice today, bro. Oh, my rent's due. I know we agreed on $25 an hour, but could you maybe hook it up? Can I get an advance on my pay? I'm just hearing the next set of excuses once I'm hired. Now, the people who have never given me a problem are the ones who are like, What's the job pay? Okay, I'm cool with that. Okay, and so how's the schedule? And they start asking questions about the job. Do you guys do this, this, and this? Yes. Okay. Well, we did it like this, but I could adjust. But the people who all they're talking about in the interview is about their personal life situation. That is going to be your hell, bro. Yep. Because they're gonna make it your problem.
Yep.
This is just true.
They're already laying it out on the table. Yeah. Subconsciously.
Yeah. It's like, why do you want this job? Because I am like completely broke and my daughter and all this shit. It's like, bro, those are going to be problems. Like a bathtub refinishing company's not going to be able to solve that problem.
Yeah. That's a self-inflicting problem you need to fix.
Yeah. So, and everybody has problems, bro. Or like I said before, everyone's problems feel bigger to them. Yeah. And it is a problem, but it's not, I'm not your savior, bro. Like I could give you a job that's going to pay you well, but bringing all those things to the forefront, it just sounds like they're coming at it from an emotional angle to emotionally manipulate you and like, yeah, am I going to give the job to this kid who's had steady work experience, or am I going to give this guy a shot who needs to do it for his family and blah, blah, blah. And you start thinking emotionally too.
Yeah. And the thing is, that works for people. It works for a lot of people. It really does. They almost always get some sort of leverage out of that.
You know why what's helped me change the mindset though a little bit is, remembering that when I was in a shit situation, nobody helped me.
Yep.
So a lot of these people who are in dire situations, what they really need to do is start doing shit for themselves.
Yep.
Especially these subcontractor types, which is some of the people that I interview.
Yeah. And
some of the people that I'm talking about. They're too lazy to go out there and try to do it themselves. But they'll fucking come to me about, whining about like super personal life shit to me. Like during interviews, by the way, which is so crazy. It's like, so like, it's $25. Okay. Yeah, bro. Actually, can I get a little bit more? Like I've had that happen.
Actually, can I get a little bit more?
Like what, bro? I haven't even seen you spray a fucking tub for me and you're asking for a raise. Like it's crazy.
That's why if you have problems, fix them first.
Yeah.
Fix them first and then go out and establish relationships.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't fix them, that's there is people you reached out for business problems, and those are your colleagues and people you call. But then there's people that when you have family problems or personal problems, that's another separate people that you need to call and confide in. And if you don't, reach out, maybe get better help.
No, bro, nobody goes to their boss to be their therapist.
Exactly.
Like there's different things, right? Like, and that's what I'm saying. There needs to be different levels to this. Like, because I am the person that pays you. I am the person that, like, to an employee, right? I'm the person who pays you. I'm the person who, tries to maintain your lifestyle, whatever, because you work for me and I pay you, and that's the agreement. But once you start bringing emotional shit into it, then, like, it's a one-sided relationship. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah.
Because you're emotionally manipulating me because I have some sort of power over you. Sure, let's say that. But what about when something happens to me? Can I go and fucking beg you? When Daytona fucked me over, did I come up to Carlos and be like, yo, Carlos, I know that you did like $3,000 worth of work for me. Can you give me your half back because they fucked me over? Yeah. Like, I would never do that. And that's why you should not let those people intrude on your life, bro.
It's true.
It's a one-sided fucking road, bro.
Yeah. That's also why you're the boss, though.
That is it.
If you're that fucking emotional, you're not going to do well.
Not everybody can be a boss, and that's the thing, man.
I used to be the guy, bro. I used to be the fucking nice guy, let people walk over me, bro. It could have cost me my fucking life. Here at this very shop, two fucking crazy-ass motherfuckers come in here with a fucking gun and threaten us because of
a check.
Because of a check.
Because of a check. Yeah.
And like part of the reason was because I didn't cut out the bullshit the moment I sniffed it. I let it build up. And ideas in their head about how we were built up. And instead of just firing them and be like, yo, here's your money, get the fuck out of my face, I let it linger.
Yeah.
And
I remember when you first hired them.
Yeah. And it turned into a shitty situation.
And even from the first hire, you were already like seeing the red flags because you told me.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah. People are crazy as hell.
Yeah, those people are crazy.
They're lucky Jonathan wasn't here that day. They would have died.
Yeah. For real.
He carries, bro.
Yeah. We all should carry. I carry.
Yeah, don't pull that thing out if you ain't ready to use it.
Bro, she pulled out a gun that was not loaded.
Yeah.
So
yeah, what an idiot.
The cop literally would have been the cop told me, he's like, if you would have had a gun and you would have retaliated, like,
it was fine. It's called was it castle law or
stand your ground.
Stand your ground. There you go. Stand your ground. Especially, this is your business. Yeah. So, it's like you really had.
Well, and we also had it well documented on our cameras that we told them to leave multiple times.
Yeah.
So, we told them we're going to mail your check, which is standard practice. In Florida, you have 60 days to pay a subcontractor legally upon termination.
Exactly.
So, we that was like a perfectly fine thing for us to tell them because they were being confrontational. But aside from that, like I said, I've tried being the nice guy, and that situation happened. I've been taken advantage of monetarily. I've heard people's fucking sob stories forever, and I try to help them, and guess what? They always fuck me over in the end. So I just choose not to be like that. And you start to answer the questions as to why business owners sometimes people think that they're dicks,
the way that they are,
but it's because people
they were taken advantage of,
and people manipulate, bro.
Yeah,
that's it. Your job as a business owner is to get the guys.
Make sure that they're getting paid. Make sure that they're doing a good job.
They're doing a good job.
And that you're continuously keeping them busy.
Exactly.
Yeah. And that's it. Aside from that, if you have the confidence to go to your boss and tell him your personal problems, I consider you lucky.
Yeah.
Because not everyone cares. Mm-hmm. Even just being your boss, it's like, I'm sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully things go well for you.
And I like having those conversations with you guys because you guys have gone down the same road as me. So I know that you're coming at it from a level of like, hey, you've been here, right? I've
literally been screwed from from employees being emotional with me, and I feel bad.
Yeah,
I feel bad. But I'll go above, and then guess what? Where are they right now?
Yeah, exactly.
They're somewhere else doing it to someone else. They already got me.
Yep. Yeah. Or they go and they act right with somebody else.
That's the crazy part.
And they'll do it
after you help them.
And they'll do it for less money.
Yep.
And for an actual dickhead boss.
Oh yeah.
Who be like, yo, you're working 13 hours and I'm only gonna pay you $100. Good luck. Yeah, it happens all the fucking time. One of the last guys I fired, Jesus, told me that he went to a guy that was paying him less, working him more, and he was chasing him down 2 weeks for a paycheck. Mind you, I paid him $1,000 in a week where he only worked 3 days. With the agreement that I was going to pay him $1,000 a week, if he worked every day, and because his wife got in a car accident, I paid him those 2 days because they weren't his fault. I was trying to be nice. That was the last time I ever do some shit like that, because when I gave him his check, he asked me, where's the bonus? Because I told him if he works every day of the week without a callback, I'll give him some sort of bonus. Okay. And he got upset. I was like, bro, you only worked 3 days. I paid you 2 days out of the kindness of my heart. You want me to give you a bonus on top of that? Go fuck yourself, bro.
That's funny. I had someone for a bit, and the agreement was, if you work 3 days or more, I'll pay you $20 an hour. If you don't, you only work 1 day or two, you're at 15, buddy. And they would do three days constantly. And then 1 week, they only ended up, well, they did 3 or more constantly because I always needed them. And then they ended up getting a part-time job or something, or like helping someone else or something they were doing themselves. So they needed those couple of extra days for themselves, so they could only give me like 1 day or two, whatever was convenient to them, of course, what was convenient to them. When I'd be like, well, fuck, dude, I need your help. So now I'm stuck. I got to do it. No, I got to do more hours, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then when they're asking me for pay, they were like, well, bro, like, it's $20 an hour. And I'm like, I told you at the beginning of our relationship, it's going to be $20 an hour after 3 days or more. And if you only do 2, it's at $15 an hour, man. Oh, that's not fair. This and the third. That's fucked up. And I'm like, we agreed to this.
Yeah.
You agreed to this with me. Like, you didn't say that's not fair and I don't want to do it and therefore I'm not going to work with you. No, you said yes.
You know what I would have told them if it was me? I would have been like,
I still did it.
I would have been like, would it be fair for me to say, hey, I think you only worked worth $7 an hour today because the job was easy today. Yeah. So I know you
didn't do that much today. Yeah. So, I think $10 an hour is more than fair for you.
Yeah. If you want to start changing agreements after the fucking fact.
After the fact,
people do that shit all the time. It's annoying.
And it sucks, but if we want companies, we have to go through these things. Like,
sure.
Money is going to get lost somehow during all these different phases and scenarios. I call them chapters. But after you go through them, don't make the same freaking mistake. Like, go through it. Even if it hurt you emotionally, remember it so that you don't do it again. Get strategic with your planning. If you see that bullshit, sniff it out. Whatever red flags, but just don't do the freaking same mistakes. I try my best to not really do those same mistakes that cost me. And that's something a lot of people don't know how to do. I work with someone and they do the same mistakes over and over, and it's pretty frustrating. But because I have an emotional connection with this person, I let shit slide, and I'll go behind them sometimes, and I'll do the nice, gentle reminder. Some days I'm frustrated, and some days I kind of let it go, but they know why. They know why, and it can be frustrating, and they're well aware, and I'm helping them as much as they're helping me, so it's a give and take, sure. But aside from this one person, I will never work like this with anybody else ever again. Like, I just happen to love this person.
And on the other hand, because I know it might sound like, whoever's might be watching this, like, I might be hard on people. The people who are really good, you give them that opportunity. You give them that fucking shot to shine. Yeah. You give them that shot to supervise, to manage people. Oh, yeah. And treat them right. Because there are good people out there. There's a lot of them. I mean, most of the guys that work with us or have worked with us are really good guys. Everyone who's working with us now is good.
Some people just want stability, and that's it. And that's great, especially if you can find the good people. Not the, I need this ASAP. Because those people kind of tend to run quickly whenever they see the bigger opportunity somewhere else. So they're willing to let go tomorrow.
I had one of those. This is something that just came back to me. So remember I was talking about how some of these guys come talking about, my kid at home and my wife left me, blah, 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 all that type of shit. So I had a guy asked me for an advance on his paycheck. And I did it because I was like, okay, he told me it was his daughter's birthday or whatever. He calls me on Sunday
to quit,
to ask me if there's work on Monday. And I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, well, because I'm in Miami jet skiing right now. And I'm just like, think about where the fuck your priorities need to be. Mind you, his paycheck was $500. Imagine being broke as fuck.
You're
that
far.
You have to ask for an advance for $500 fucking dollars, and you decide what I'm gonna do with it is go jet skiing in Miami.
Not my kids.
Crazy, bro.
Yeah, man. There's that manipulation.
Yeah, that's what it is, bro. They get away with it.
You gotta have endurance.
Yeah.
You can listen to people's problems. You can vent. You don't necessarily have to solve them.
You don't have to be an asshole. You can, and exactly as I said, sometimes it just has to be emotionless. It's like, damn, I'm sorry. I hope you go through
and
this.
it kind of comes with the territory of our position, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're leaders.
It's kind of part of the
we
job
are
description.
leaders, and we need to like. Yes, you're gonna have shitty situations where something like that comes, but that also, like I said, that you got to work your way up to that. Like, in order for me to bend down my rules for you, you had to put in some time for me, man.
Well, when we both first met each other, we ran our operations completely differently.
Yeah.
We were both the Mr. Nice Guys, bro.
Yeah.
I actually, you know this because I've already told it to you, but Mr. Nice Guy is what got me from having 4 employees and literally having 10 grand in cash for emergencies in my closet to, fuck, I got no work coming in and I had to fire everybody.
Yeah.
Being nice guy. Being nice guy doesn't work. That nice guy finished last shit, that is true for a reason. That's an old saying that exists for a reason. And
Business is a competition.
business is a cutthroat industry, and unless you're willing to cut some throats, like, don't get in the business. Stay a sub
For sure.
Stay a sub.
Some of these guys, they're like, oh yeah, I want a boss that's cool with me, blah 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 blah.
Everybody wants
They
that.
they all say they want it.
Yeah.
But let's be real.
I mean,
Why do they want it?
You know how I run my guys. I'm pretty close with them. But the way I go about it now, because I've gone a couple ways about this. I've been through maybe 6 or 7 employees so far. And right now I have 3. And we have a pretty tight bond. But what I make very clear is that I am a high achiever. And if you're going to fuck with me, you're going to be a higher achiever too. Yeah. So like I tell my prepper, down to my prepper, like I look him straight in the face and I'll tell him like, you need to know how to prep, bro.
Yep.
Like, don't fucking, this is your job. Yeah. Like, don't get it twisted. And then we can bullshit, we can be friends, but when you prep this tub, there better not be dust in this fucking tub. Like, this is the only thing you're here to do. And then right after that conversation, we can go back to talking shit. Yeah. Yep. But you have to have that
separation.
Switch.
There needs to be
switch. And that's how I manage my operation. And I lead by example. So I'm always there. I'm there every day.
I get down.
I'm not taking fucking days off. I'm not fucking going. I haven't been on a vacation in years because this is not the time. And I'm like, and I tell them, I'm like,
I know that.
One day we will, but now's not the time.
Now's not the time.
Right now we're
Grind
here to
mode.
build this business, and
Grind
if you're in my business right now, you're not just here to come collect a check. Oh, yeah. If you want that, go somewhere fucking else. Make that shit clear from the jump.
Oh yeah.
I tell them like, you signed up for Perfect Surface. Well, Perfect Surface is on a fucking mission right now, dude. So like, if you're not here to be on this mission with me, then just get the fuck out the way. And what happened is, everyone was fucking down. When I set that intent clear, like, we're not playing games. I was like, we're cool. We're not fucking playing games here, dude. I'm trying to build $1 million company. I'm trying to change my life, and you're here to help me.
Are you gonna be here, or are you gonna be leaving?
And so and it's gone ways where like we've had disagreements, and we could easily terminate the relationship, or you're gonna listen to what I have to say. And sometimes I'm going to listen back, and sometimes I'm not. And sometimes I'm just going to be like, no, this is a
bigger picture in your head at the moment than what they're currently talking about.
And these are with guys that highly respect me, and we're close, and I respect them. And because we've, like, as a unit, have adopted that mentality, we don't have problems anymore. Like, my guys aren't showing up late. My guys aren't not doing good work. If there's an issue, it's a genuine, like, mistake.
You know why?
Why?
Because you gave them the vision of where you want them to be, which is what a lot of people don't do. Yeah, like a lot of people will tell them, like, you work for me, blah, 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 kind of be a dick about it. Yeah. And what they see is, I'm going to be refinishing tubs until I'm 80, bro. But when you put the vision in your head about where you want to take the company, they know, well, if I'm a tub boy now, bro, I'm going to be the manager of this shit. I'm going to run the shit. And you put those things in their head because it's important and it's true. You're going to need that right hand, bro.
I tell them all the time, like, we're like a mafia, bro. Yeah. I told Denny too, I'm like, we're like a tub mafia. We're going to fucking, everyone here, if you help me build this shit, I'm going to look after you. And if you don't help me build it, then get the fuck out the way. Straight up.
2024, baby. We're going to the moon.
That's it.
Bro, there's a lot of things I want to talk about with 2024.
There's some things that got to be kept secret though for right now.
but we're working on some things. But I'm going to end this one here. And the last one, we'll talk about some lead gen stuff. Talk about how this year went for everybody.
Okay.
And then goals for next year, what we want to do.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
That's good.
All right.
You've been listening to the Bathtub Refinishing Podcast. If you liked what you heard, be sure to keep up with the Bathtub Guys on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, or visit BathTubGuys.com for more. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.